busy people getting fit in Fulshear, Texas. Our aim is to help you look better, feel better, and perform better as quickly as possible. I'm your host, Brian White with Blue Eagle Fitness and Nutrition. Welcome.
What's up, Clancy?
Hey, Brian. How's it going?
Great. So you have an article you want us to talk about.
I do. It's about the article, we're talking about fructose today.
Okay. And where does fructose come from?
So here's the thing. As far as I know, I'm no expert. I'm just going to put that out there.
Okay.
But as far as I know, nobody ever got fat off eating apples and bananas. I'm just saying.
It's really hard. It's super
And
hard.
That's where fructose comes in the natural form. But this article I wanted to ask you about, it says that a major study claims to identify the root cause of obesity, and that is fructose.
Yep. Perfect. And everything in that title is technically correct.
Technically. That's where you and I come in. That's where you and I come in.
That's where you and I come in. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So if the article's title is technically correct, and fructose is making everyone obese, 70% of Americans are either overweight or obese. And fructose, the only source of fructose is from fruit, but yet we know anecdotally, right, and clinically, that fruit is not making us fat or obese. So what's your question?
So where's all this fructose coming from that's making me so fat and obese?
That's exactly right. And I don't know which came first, the chicken or the egg, but I grew up in a farming community. I grew up in a town of 8,000 people in Northeast Arkansas. If you think, oh, it's so pretty there. Nope, that's not where I'm from. That's Northwest Arkansas. I am from Northeast Arkansas. It is very flat. It's the Delta. And by Delta, we're talking about the Mississippi Delta. So the Mississippi River, more or less, it overflows. It makes the soil very fertile and great place to grow crops. I grew up with beans and cotton. I mean, you just pass bean field, cotton field, bean field, cotton field. I go back now, and not just the number one crop, but basically the only crop I see. Do you want to take a guess as to what it is?
I'm going to go with corn.
Corn. So our country, and again, I don't exactly know which came first, the chicken or the egg. I don't know which came first. Corn being made for ethanol, or corn being made for high fructose corn syrup. If I had to guess, I would guess that all the corn was being grown for ethanol to replace gasoline, and it wasn't enough, and so they needed another source or something else to do with their corn. So they turned it into high fructose corn syrup. Okay, and so yes, it's fructose, but it's been concentrated, and people you're not eating it in the corn form, or certainly not a fruit form, but you're eating it in its sugar form. Caro syrup, like simple syrup, that's high fructose corn syrup. And that is what, in that article, yes, it shows, this big, massive study shows that high fructose corn syrup is what is leading to our obesity epidemic.
And now it seems to me, after looking through this article and talking to you, that high fructose corn syrup is in the most unlikely of places. Some of them are obvious.
It's basically in everything. And
it's basically in everything. Everything.
You and I were having a conversation, and you were like, hey, is it in my tomato sauce? Of course, it's in your tomato sauce. Why did you choose a particular tomato sauce, a spaghetti sauce?
Well, I like my tomato sauce. I like my spaghetti sauce sweet.
Sweet, exactly.
I'm addicted. Because I'm addicted.
Sweet.
This corn stuff is in everything. And so now I'm addicted.
So for dinner, you're going to have dessert, basically.
Right.
So and people don't like it when I tell them that. People don't like it when I tell them that. And here's what I mean. Just follow me just a little bit on this. The American Heart Association, okay, world experts in your heart health, they recommend that men consume no more than 36 grams of added sugar per day. Okay, now we're talking about added sugar.
Added.
Okay, so any sugar you eat from a naturally occurring source, such as any fruit, doesn't count. That's zero added sugar. Okay, for women, they recommend 25 grams of no more than 25 grams of added sugar in a day. Okay.
And that's breakfast for most people.
So let's talk about how much is 25 grams of sugar. Okay.
Yeah.
Ketchup, just a tablespoon of ketchup. Okay. Which is, 1 packet of ketchup, just one packet of ketchup.
How much?
4 grams, 4 grams of high fructose corn syrup.
Okay. Well, I need at least 4 packets of ketchup.
At least 4, if not 6, for the fries you got.
So there's 16 grams of my sugar down the
That's exactly
tubes.
right. That's exactly right.
Oh my gosh.
How much? Now everyone knows Coke, right, is full of sugar. Want to take a guess? 12-ounce
40
Coke.
grams.
Pretty close. 39.
Grams?
I'll take 40.
40.
Yeah. Here's one of my favorite parts.
2 full days worth of sugar right there.
More or less a day and 3/4 or so of sugar from one Coke. We didn't talk about kids. So kids is actually closer to like 12 to 16 grams of added sugar a day. Did you ever give your kids apple juice?
No.
No? Okay. Good for you.
We
did, but we would mix it with water. And here's why. A serving of apple juice is 28 grams. 28 grams of sugar. Now, here's my favorite part. Is that the serving size for the apple juice is listed as only 8 ounces. So if we're going to compare apples to apples, apples to apples, pun intended, of Coke to apple juice, we actually need to add 14 grams of sugar, which is 42. There are, on a per sip basis, there's more grams of added sugar in the form of high fructose corn syrup in apple juice than in Coke.
And then we send our kids off to school hopped up on 42 grams of sugar. Sorry, teachers. Sorry about that. Our bad.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Oh my gosh. What else? You were talking about other sources of sugar. What else? Give me some more common ones that we eat.
So you're not going to like this answer.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to like it at all. But I don't want to eat I don't want to eat my dessert for dinner.
The truth
so I want to know.
Is that if it tastes good, and it has and you like it, because we have 2 main. They're like 4 main flavors, but we're just going to break them down into 2, either sweet or savory. So sweet, we know what sweet is. Savory would be meat, like a meat flavor, right? If you're eating something and you like it because it's sweet, then it has added sugar in it. And it is highly likely that one thing you're eating has more than your daily allowance of added sugar in it in one serving. Yeah.
So no wonder everybody's trying to get liposuction. You know what I mean? It's like, how are we supposed to do this? Like, what are we supposed to do? Like, salad dressing, bread,
you're exactly right.
Like, what am I supposed to dip my French fries in, Brian?
That's exactly right.
I'm just kidding.
That's exactly right. So, people ask me, about salad dressing, for example, and I'm like, olive oil and vinegar are great. And, people, well, what about the calories and the fat? And look, there's a lot of the data shows that added sugar is what is leading to our obesity epidemic, not healthy fats,
olive oil,
not olive oil,
not
right?
avocados.
So we don't want to overdo it. Yes, olive oil has a lot of calories per teaspoon or per tablespoon in it. I agree. I'm just looking at the data that says that, again, we're not going to be overweight by eating too much meat, too many fruits, too many vegetables, and too much olive oil and vinaigrette, or olive oil and vinegar. There just isn't that data that's out there. In fact, if we look at blue zones, and blue zones are the people around the world who live longer and are fitter into their old age, they actually consume a lot of healthy fat, whether you're talking about Italy, whether you're talking about Japan, which is getting their healthy fats from fish. That's the reality. So you were asking me earlier, well, what do I put on my pancakes? And I said, well,
You weren't
fruit.
supposed to tell everybody that.
And I said,
weren't
fruit.
That was between us.
I'm sorry. I didn't know that was a
Sorry, that was
secret.
between us. Hello.
You did not say off the record. But add fruit. And this is I'm not saying that you're going to look cool. I'm not saying that you're going to impress people with this. I'm not saying people aren't going to look at you weird, but eat, get fruit, get a peach, slice the peach into, thin slices work better. Layer that on top of the pancake. Right. And then eat a bite of pancake with a peach. It's sweet.
Right.
It tastes great. It's wonderful.
So instead, what I'm hearing is that not only is sugar in everything, high fructose corn syrup's in everything. So now what I've done is taken a meal, say like my little Italian spaghetti meal I wanted to make everybody, with a salad on the side with balsamic vinaigrette, which is loaded with sugar, by the way, not balsamic vinegar. That's different. But the vinaigrette, basically what you're saying is I've taken all of my sugar and clumped it into my dinner. So now I'm then going to go have dessert on top of that and add another load of whatever ice cream or sugar there. And I'm just compounding my problem, thinking that, oh, I had a salad though. I'm doing good.
Yeah, exactly.
And now I've had 4 times the amount of sugar in one day that I need.
Well, the average, right? The good news is it's not 4 times. But the American Heart Association says the average woman should eat no more than 25 grams of sugar, and for men of added sugar, and for men should eat no more than 39 grams of added sugar.
Yeah, something like that.
The average American, the average American woman consumes 82 grams of added sugar a day. In just the same way that you said, got French fries and ate it with 4 to 5 packets of ketchup, added, used a tomato sauce, spaghetti sauce that they bought at the grocery store, used a salad dressing that they bought at the grocery store. And this is why we want to limit things that come out of a box or a package, because food companies want you to buy more of it, want you to buy what their product is, and they want it to taste good. And the number one thing that they can do, and high fructose corn syrup is actually quite cheap for them. So it makes it taste better, so you enjoy your experience, and it's cheap to add. That's why they're adding it. And that's how, the average woman ends up at 82 grams of added sugar, and the average guy is up around 100 grams. So that's this discrepancy. We need to be down here, and instead we are 3 to 4 times higher. Well, I guess 2.5 to 3 times higher than where we need to be.
Definitely. So we need to make some swaps. We need to swap.
Yeah, anytime you can remove salad dressing and replace it with olive oil and vinegar, that's a great swap. And they make shakers that you can add your own olive oil, add your own vinegar, and then you shake it up when you're in. It drizzles out, and then when you're done with it, you can put it back in the refrigerator. You'll have to let it sit usually because the oil will solidify, which is cool because that means that it's healthier actually if it solidifies, because they didn't add any hydrogenated oils to it. So that's a swap. Replacing jelly or jam or syrup with fruit, that's a swap. Another swap that most people don't recognize is to add your own sugar to things. So I buy unsweetened Greek yogurt. If you've never had unflavored or unsweetened Greek yogurt, you take a bite, you spit it out because it's very bitter. It's very bitter. Add your own honey to that. Add your own table sugar to that. You will be amazed at how little table sugar you need. Like in yours, if you buy it from the store, it will have 15 to 20 grams of added sugar in one little serving. If you do it yourself, you would only need, and I've done this, I do it myself, I only need 4 or 5 grams of sugar, of added sugar. And it's plenty sweet. It's plenty sweet.
One thing I learned when my kids were little, I was giving them gummy vitamins because I was like, I'm such a great mom. Look at me. My kids are eating these vitamins. Yeah. Well, guess why?
Yeah.
Guess what?
Yeah. If your kids love it, that's a sign that it's high in high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is good. This is good. We need to keep talking about these things and be aware of what we're shoving in our face
Yeah.
and stop trying to go get lipo and whatever, right?
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Sugar busters.
That's right. That's exactly right. Well, thank you,
Cool. Well,
Clancy.
thanks.
I appreciate it. I enjoyed our conversation.
Well, thanks, Brian.
Okay. Talk to you later.
Appreciate you. Okay.
Bye.
You can get every episode of Busy People Getting Fit wherever you listen to your podcast or on YouTube. You can also reach us at busypeoplegettingfit.com. Until next time, thank you for listening.